In the heart of winter, right around December 25th, families gathered for a festive occasion. Not Christmas, though. This was Saturnalia, the ancient Roman winter celebration that predated the Western Christian festival. The poet Catullus once praised Saturnalia as the best of times, marked by a laid-back atmosphere and the exchange of modest gifts like dolls, candles, and caged birds. During Saturnalia, societal norms flipped. The affluent footed the bill for the less fortunate, masters and slaves traded attire, and households threw dice to determine a temporary Saturnalian monarch. Lucian of Samosata's poem Saturnalia has the god Kronos, Saturn, proclaiming a week of revelry and merriment where seriousness was taboo. Business took a backseat as people indulged in drinking, games of dice, the crowning of temporary kings, and even the unconventional act of singing in the nude. The festive spirit extended to generous acts, with landlords covering rent for those struggling financially. Small tokens of goodwill echoed through the exchange of gifts, echoing the essence of the season. It prompts us to question the roots of Christmas, the widely embraced Christian festival. Could the traditions of Saturnalia have laid the groundwork for the festive practices that characterize Christmas today? The echoes of ancient celebrations linger in our contemporary festivities, raising intriguing connections between the past and the present. Saturnalia, born as a farmer's celebration marking the close of the autumn planting season in homage to Saturn, Satus, meaning sowing, left its imprint on the Roman coastal province of Constantine, now in Algeria. Archaeological sites bear witness to the endurance of the Saturn cult there until the early 3rd century AD. Under the Roman era, Saturnalia underwent evolution, both in duration and timing. Initially a 2-day event commencing on December 17th during the reign of Emperor Augustus, it expanded into a week-long festivity by the era Lucian chronicled. The shifting tides of the Roman calendar eventually anchored Saturnalia's pinnacle to December 25th, aligning it with the winter solstice. Public Saturnalia banquets emerged as early as 217 BC, accompanied by a temporary ceasefire in executions and wartime declarations by the Roman state. Despite attempts by pagan Roman authorities to rein in the festivities, such as Emperor Caligula's endeavor to limit it to 5 days, Saturnalia persisted in its exuberance, defying such constraints. Emperor Domitian, in his quest for authority, potentially altered the date of Saturnalia to December 25th. Seeking to harness the festival's energy, he brought it under his control by orchestrating public events. The poet Statius vividly paints a picture in his poem Silvae, depicting the opulent banquet hosted by Domitian. This extravagant affair included games that commenced with a cascade of sweets, fruits, and nuts on the spectators, along with the spectacle of flamingos soaring over Rome. Groundbreaking shows unfolded, featuring fighting dwarves and female gladiators, now illuminated into the night for the first time. The winds of change, however, swept through with the conversion of Emperor Constantine to Christianity in AD 312. This marked the end of Roman persecution of Christians and the beginning of imperial support for Christian churches. Despite this transformative moment, the adoption of Christianity as the official religion of the Roman Empire unfolded gradually. Even as Christian influence gained ground, Saturnalia endured alongside Christian and other pagan festivals. The poet Ambrosius Theodosius Macrobius provided yet another perspective on Saturnalia, portraying a banquet featuring pagan literary luminaries in Rome during the festival. Dating between 383 and 430, his work paints a picture of Saturnalia thriving even under the rule of Christian emperors. Macrobius's depiction illustrates the coexistence of pagan traditions alongside the growing influence of Christianity during this transitional period. A Christian lens on Saturnalia emerges in the Christian calendar of Polemius Silvus, composed around 449. Here, Saturnalia is acknowledged as a past homage to the god Saturn, suggesting a transformation into a more secular carnival-like celebration. This evolution hints at a blending of cultural practices, where Saturnalia, once a religious observance, seamlessly transitioned into a broader popular festivity. Interestingly, the roots of Christmas appear entwined with Rome's cultural tapestry. The earliest documented reference to Christmas celebrating the birth of Christ on December 25th is found in the Roman Philocalian calendar of 354 AD. However, the unity in celebration soon splintered as provincial differences gave rise to distinct Christian calendars. In the eastern half of the Roman Empire, the Orthodox Church opted for January 6th, commemorating not just Christ's birth, but also his baptism and first miracle. This divergence underscores the diverse paths taken by evolving religious traditions in different corners of the Roman world. In the quest to identify Christmas's predecessor, another contender emerges, the festival of Dies Natalis Solis Invicti, translating to the birthday of the unconquered sun. The Philocalian calendar adds weight to this claim by noting December 25th as a Roman civil holiday dedicated to honoring the cult of Sol Invicta, showcasing a rival influence to Saturnalia in shaping Christmas's early roots. Originating in Syria and associated with the monotheistic cult of Mithras, Sol Invicta bears striking similarities to the worship of Jesus. Its introduction into the Roman Empire in 274 AD by Emperor Aurelian, who elevated it to the status of a state religion and featured its emblem on Roman coins, underscores its cultural impact. Sol Invicta's success lies in its adaptability, absorbing facets of Jupiter and other deities into its portrayal of the Sun King. This amalgamation reflected the authority of divine emperors, contributing to its widespread acceptance. Despite attempts by later pagan emperors to regulate Saturnalia and integrate it into the official cult, Sol Invicta ultimately bore a striking resemblance to the old Saturnalia. It's noteworthy that Constantine, the inaugural Christian emperor, was raised in the Sol Invicta cult. At this juncture, the Roman Empire was already leaning towards monotheism. This prompts speculation that Christmas might have been intended to supplant Sol Invicta rather than Saturnalia. While the majority of contemporary scholars tend to hesitate in drawing a direct connection between Saturnalia and the inception of Christian Christmas, a more comforting narrative for devout Christians emerges. The roots of Christmas, it appears, might find resonance in Judaic concepts associating the time of prophets' deaths with their conception or birth. Early ecclesiastical thinkers engaged in a bit of numerical reasoning, deducing that if Mary's pregnancy spanned 9 months from the Annunciation on March 25th, it would culminate in the birth of Christ on December 25th. This calculated alignment of dates carries a certain poetic symmetry, bridging the sacred with the temporal and providing a unique Christian perspective on the timing of Christ's birth. It highlights how the evolution of religious traditions often involves a delicate interplay between theological considerations and the practicalities of calendar reckoning. This insight into the thought processes of early ecclesiastical figures adds depth to the understanding of the origins of Christmas, offering a perspective that transcends the overtly pagan or secular influences often associated with the season.